Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning into the channel again. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be for all you homeowners and you young contractors who want to learn how to finish your own drywall. I'm basically going to start at the beginning. I'm going to teach you how to prep your imperfections in your sheetrock hanging so it's all ready for tape. I'm going to teach you how to spot the nails quickly like the pros do. I'm going to teach you some basic pen and knife skills. I'm going to show you the mud that we're going to use. And I'm going to show you how to mix it right so it's the right consistency so that it makes your life easier. Basically the first 5 steps. So let's get going. Go ahead and subscribe and like and turn on the bell before we get started, and let's go. Okay, first of all, we're just going to take a little quick look around and kind of see what we're dealing with here. Okay, so little joint there, pretty rough, pre-fill that. Let's see, we got a section here where the face paper just kind of got rubbed off. I'll be fixing those. We got a situation up here where the corners of the sheetrock are fractured and those need to be cut out and pre-filled. Something that happens a lot when you're stocking your sheetrock, you got to be careful when you set your sheetrock down, because if that corner bumps the floor, you know, this happens all the time. It also happens when you buy your sheetrock from Home Depot. Okay, more brown paper spots, looking good here. We've got an angle here, pretty nice gap. It's about a 3/8 inch gap, and I am gonna pre-fill that. If it was anything under a 1/4 inch, it would be fine, but that's big enough, I'm gonna fix that. Anytime you got your inside angles where your 3 angles come together, those spots take the longest to dry. So it's kind of good to pre-fill those gaps. It just makes it dry much faster. Okay, so later when you tape it and you come back the next day, it'll be dry, so you don't have to wait another day. A little gap up there, nice fracture there. Any loose paper that's kind of peeling, hanging off the wall that's got to come out, any loose little bits of sheetrock that are still in there, those need to be cleaned out because it needs to be solid before you pre-fill it. Otherwise you'll end up with, you know, more bubbles and blisters. Okay, a little gap here. So yeah. Every job, there's imperfections. Much more face paper tone here. They're rough, but no big deal. I've fixed these things a million times. All right, let's go. Okay, so usually for this, I just use taping mud. Taping mud, it has a lot of glue, so when you pre-fill those gaps and fix those imperfections, you fill those with this taping mud, and when it dries, it's nice and strong. This is what you want. And usually I just use it straight out of the box because it's nice and thick, but it's not too thick. I mean, I think it's just right. So, let's do this. Okay, you're gonna want to keep a razor knife in your pocket. Kind of want to peel it back and you can see where the line is, where it broke. Make a nice cut with the razor knife and it just comes right off. That loose flaky stuff has to come out. Okay. This side's broken too. You can feel it bulging out. I can see the line right there. Okay. It's got to come out, otherwise you're gonna have an ugly bulge going down your angle. Okay, all that loose stuff is cleaned out. Nice and solid. Grab my 8-inch knife. Love these 8-inch knives. And also, this is why I like thick mud. It's not gonna, if you got a pretty good sized gap, it's not gonna spill out. It's not gonna come running down the wall. If this gap was any wider, I'd grab a 10-inch knife, but we're good. Okay, there, it's basically flat. It's gonna be ready to tape. I can tape this angle, cut them out on each side after that. It's gonna come out nice. Okay, these brown paper spots, it's happening all the time. This is another reason why I use taping mud. All you gotta do is just do a thin skip of taping mud. Real thin skim. You can even see it showing through a little bit. That's fine. This taping mud has a lot of glue. Once that dries, it will seal that. Should be strong. You shouldn't have any bubbles or blisters showing. Good to go. I just go around any of those brown paper spots. That's what I do. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay, we had a pretty good sized gap on this angle. Like I say, anything around a 1/4 inch or less, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. But if it's over a 1/4 inch, let's do it. Let's pre-fill it. Now I have decent heat on this job. If I had no heat on this job and I knew it was gonna take a while to dry, I would use hot mud. But we do have heat. So we're just gonna use taping mud straight out of the box. Okay, that's fine. Well, you can still see a tiny bit of a line there, but that's fine. It's pre-filled. It's good. Now when we tape it, it'll be fine. Okay. Another little broken corner here, another fractured out section here. You gotta cut those out. You'll have the big bulge. You'll be able to see that. If we try to finish this and paint it, I mean, you're gonna see that after you paint it. It's bulging out too much. Okay, razor knife again. I can see that line where it's broken and fractured out. Nice sharp razor knife with a fresh blade. Okay. Get it out of there. So, get that loose flaky stuff out of there so it's solid. Good. Now it's flat. Broken corner here, bulging out, same thing. Gotta come out. Get this stuff out of there. Now it's nice and flat, nothing bulging. Boom. Good to go. Okay. You pull it tight. When I say pull it tight, it means there's nothing left on the wall. The hole is full. Everything is flat. Okay. Okay. Another big blowout here. It's already basically cleaned out, but there's still a little bit of loose paper. That loose paper has to come off. It'll cause blisters and bubbles if you don't get that loose paper out of there. Okay, so this paper's out. Little chunks are out. Okay, now it's solid. It's good. Refill it, pull it tight. Okay, more brown paper spots. Pull it tight. Nice. This one looks nice and perfect down here. This one up here, definitely harsh. Uneven, a little bit of gap. Boom. Now when you wipe down the tape will wipe down nice and flat. It'll come out right. That's the whole point of doing this. On those joints that are pretty rough, you tape it, you wipe down the tape. Sometimes you end up with an air pocket or a blister behind it. This way, it comes out perfect. Okay guys, hopefully that kind of gives you a basic understanding of how to prep your board and get it ready for tape. I mean, you got to do it before you start taping. On most of my jobs, normally what I do is I go through and I spot the nails and prep the board all in one shot. That way I can just walk around the whole job. All the nails are spotted and the bad nails are fixed. Okay, so the first coat is done on the nails. All the imperfections in the sheetrock are all fixed because I'm going to see every inch of it as I go through spotting the nails. So it's just the way I do it. It gets the nails spotted for the first time and all the board completely prepped all in one shot. And then when I'm done, I'm ready to tape and the tape job just comes out perfect. Okay, before we spot these nails, let me give you a basic kind of a pan and knife lesson. Teach you some basic pan and knife skills. This way you have a place to start, you have something to practice, you're kind of going in the right direction instead of trying to figure it out for yourself. A lot of guys that I see that are just trying it for the first time, they always put a tiny little bit of mud on their knife and then they don't have enough to work with. They're doing this kind of thing. They're not filling up the nails and make sure it globs of mud on the wall. So you got to put the right amount of mud on your knife. Your mud has to be the right consistency Okay. This mud, if you notice, it's thick enough, it's not running off of my knife. It stays there. If it was starting to run off the knife, that's too thin, okay? It's gonna get everywhere, you're gonna make a mess, it's gonna get on you, okay? So, you wanna have some pretty thick mud. Usually mud straight out of the box is a little too thick, so you need to add a little water and mix it up, but you don't need to add much water because you want it to be pretty thick, okay? So, when you put mud on your knife, we're just gonna kind of stick with spot nails for now. When you get mud on your knife, see how much mud I got? That's about what you want, okay? You don't want just a tiny bit. You don't want too much. It's gonna end up dripping off and getting everywhere. So, you get about 1.5 inches, maybe 1 inch, right in there. When you're getting mud on your knife, you want to go like that. See how I scraped it along my pan like that? Because if you don't, you end up with a bead of mud there right at the end of your knife, and that usually ends up kind of falling. It'll get on you, it kind of drips on the floor. So, you know, get a full inch, at least a full inch of mud across your knife. Go like that before you start. And as you turn your knife like this, do that side. Okay, now your mud is basically tapered off on each end of your knife. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. You're not gonna get mud all over the floor, all over you. Okay? So, one more time. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you got that on video. One more. Okay? 1 inch, maybe just over 1 inch, you know, wide bead of mud on there. Bam, bam. Okay? Easy. Okay, that gives you something to practice, hopefully. So now I'm gonna keep going with the pan and knife lesson. I'm gonna teach you how to basically spot your nails fast and easy. Okay, so let's try that again. Mud on the knife, bam, bam. Watch this. Okay, all 3 nails all in one shot. And I never take my knife off of the wall, okay? Boom, my knife never comes off the wall. I pull it over, come back down, okay? So the mud is getting on here, and then I push my knife up all the way tight against the wall, so it's scraping against the wall, and when I come like that, it's not even any mud on the wall. Bam. Okay, where they put a screw in and then had to pull it back out, and you got that fuzzy spot. Okay, you gotta fix those. Basically, you rub those in with the back of your knife. Okay, after you've been working with your mud a little bit, it'll start to thicken up. So if you just want to thin it down, just kind of give it one of those. So just get a little mud on your knife, dip the whole thing. Okay, that'll add just enough water. Mix it up. Thin it down a little bit, and it's a lot easier to work with. It's going to flow, and you know, it's not going to be so thick that it's going to be difficult to work with when you're spotting nails. It's going to flow, and it's just going to, you know, make your life easier. So, it's still not too thick. Okay, I can shake it. It's not falling off the knife, it's not running off the knife. You don't want that. You want it to be thick enough where it stays, okay? After Okay guys, so now you know the basics. You know the mud that you're using. You understand what you're looking for when you want to prep your board. You know how to spot the nails fast. You know the consistency of your mud, that's important. You got some basic pen and knife skills. I hope there was something on this video that helps you on your next project. There's more videos coming. If you're still here, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe and like and turn on the bell. And good luck on your project.